In this session, we'll be discussing about the last topic related to the module 1, section C, that is small signal operation and models. Okay, so in this topic of small signal operation and models. Okay, so here we are going to discuss on the last concept, a small signal small signal equivalent circuit models. Small signal equivalent circuit models. Okay, now what is that I need to do over here is, let me just make you understand what's the title of this particular topic. Now I know that how is my MOSFET being seen. So this is my MOSFET, wherein I'm having the three terminals for the same. Okay, so this is my drain terminal, the gate terminal, and the source terminal. So drain terminal, gate terminal, and the source terminal. Okay, now when I want to model this in terms of a small signal analysis, so I need to identify what is the equivalent circuit. Why I am doing this? I just want to model this in terms of an equivalent circuit so that I can perform a mathematical analysis. I can perform a mathematical analysis on small signals. On small signals. So I can perform a mathematical analysis on the small signals. So it's a reason why I'm going for the concept of small signal equivalent circuit models. Okay, now I know that from the fundamental concept that my MOSFET behaves like a voltage controlled. My MOSFET, my MOSFET behaves like a voltage controlled current source. Current source. So my MOSFET behaves like a voltage controlled current source. So this simply means that the voltage controlled indicates the input voltage what is being applied to the MOSFET. The input voltage what has been applied to the MOSFET is nothing but VGS, and the source, the current source what has been seen on the output port is nothing but my drain current ID. My drain current ID. Okay, so in the previous interaction as well, I was just able to say that, so this is my MOSFET with the three terminals. Okay, I'm showing it as a black box. The input voltage, what is that I'm going to apply to the MOSFET is nothing but my VGS, and the output that I'm going to get from this MOSFET is nothing but a drain current. This drain current in turn, it is dependent on this VGS in the form of GM times that of VGS. GM times that of VGS. That is, this equation itself is self-explanatory, that the output current is dependent on input voltage. Hence, your MOSFET is said to be as a voltage controlled current source. It's said to be as voltage controlled current source. Okay. Now, if I want to build the model for the same based upon this interaction, then I can simply draw the circuit like this, stating that if I'm having a signal onto my input port, let me say this is a gate terminal. Okay, let me say this is a gate terminal. Between the terminals, VGS, so this is the input voltage, what I'm going to apply. Okay, then later I'll be having current source, a dependent current source. Okay, so this is a current direction, which is nothing but my drain current ID, where this drain current ID is Gm times that of VGS, and this is the source terminal. So this is a gate, this is a drain, and this is the source. Okay, so this is an equivalent circuit model on a brief note. Okay, so on a brief note, this is an MOSFET equivalent circuit model. MOSFET equivalent circuit model. But I just don't want a MOSFET equivalent circuit model. I just want a MOSFET how it is being seen whenever a small signal is employed. I want to see when a small signal is employed, how the circuit is going to behave. Okay, so in the small signal analysis, we know that if at all, if I'm having an ideal constant DC voltage source, then I'm replace it by a short circuit. And if at all, if I'm having any current source, then I'm going to open circuit it. So this is from the first fundamentals. Okay, and as I know that the input resistance of this particular MOSFET is infinite. The input resistance is infinite. Okay, and also if I assume that the output resistance of this particular MOSFET is also infinite, then I'm not going to show any Ri and R0 onto my circuit. So you can see in my circuit there is no any term related to Ri and R0, just indicating the input resistance and output resistance both are infinite. Okay, now a slight modification when it comes to a small signal analysis. So when it comes to small signal analysis, as I know that the drain current in the saturation is dependent on the voltage, a drain voltage. Okay, I simply mean to say a drain current ID is dependent on the drain voltage VD. Okay, drain voltage VD. Now, in order to show this dependency on this drain voltage, okay, it simply means that it is not directly proportional. There is some proportionality constant. That is what we call it as a resistance. And output resistance in the circuit are not. Then it simply means a modification or a modified model for a MOSFET operated for a small signal looks somewhat like this. So this being my gate terminal, okay, this being my gate terminal. So between these two nodes, I'm going to apply the gate to voltage, or I'm going to apply gate to voltage source. Okay, then later I'll be having an dependent source. So this is the direction of current, my drain current ID, which is nothing but Gm times that of VGS. So this is my source and this is my gate. Now, as I said, my drain current ID, which is going to flow in this direction, so it is somehow dependent on the drain voltage VD. So this is the resistance R0, which brings some correlation, or it makes my ID to be dependent on VD. So in that case, that R0, that output resistance, I can just represent in parallel. That output resistance R0, I can just represent that in parallel. Now, what is that I need to understand over here is, now we may ask a question saying that, sir, why does R0 has to be in parallel? Why this R0 has to be in parallel? Why I cannot put my R0 into the series? Now, I can simply say to people that in an ideal case, I was considering my R0 as infinite. It means my R0 was just open circuited. So when my R0 is open circuited, my model was looking somewhat like this. But now this R0 is nowhere infinite. This R0 is nowhere infinite. It is having some finite value, but a very high value, that itself indicates that my R naught has to stand in parallel. It has to stand in shunt with respect to this dependent source. Because if you go for the alternate version, if I just put my R naught into series, then I don't have any flow of the drain current into the circuit. I don't have any flow of drain current into my circuit. Understanding? So it's a reason my R naught need to come in parallel. Now once if I'm having my drain current into this parallel, now I need to just get some equations that justifies its presence. Then I can just write my R naught. R naught is equals to the voltage V divided by ID. Now this voltage V can be defined as 1 by lambda into ID. 1 by lambda into ID. Typically, this value of R naught, will be in a range of 10 kilo ohm to 1000 kilo ohm. So this R naught will be in the band of 10 kilo ohm to 1000 kilo ohm. Now, this is the model that you people need to use it for any analysis of small signals. Okay, so this is my circuitry. When it comes to a small signal concept. Okay, so this is what is that you people need to remember. So if I just go for the modified version of my circuit, then my even a voltage gain equation also changes. So as I know that the voltage gain for the circuit is being given by AV, which is nothing but an output voltage to the input voltage, a voltage gain. Then I know what is my output voltage. My output voltage is VDS, the voltage between the drain and the source, and VI is the input voltage, which is a voltage between gate and source. Now I know that in the previous case I was able to get an expression something called as minus GM times that of RD. But now I have added some more resistance into my circuit, wherein my RD is standing in parallel to my R naught. Now I want to throw a question at you, just to make sure your fundamentals are strong. Now if I say that AV is equals to minus GM times that of RD, this was my expression in the previous case. And this is the expression that I'm going to use for small signal. Now I want to ask you people, will these two equations make a drastic change? Yes, please answer in the group chat whether these two equations are giving me the same meaning or will they make any drastic change. If no, is it possible to justify, Ashwin? So your suggestion is that these two equations will not make much drastic change between their behaviors. And if it's a case, then how can we justify it? Yes, I'm going to use a simple concept of two resistors in parallel. Okay. Now I know that RD is in parallel with R0, and internally I know that the value of R0 is too high. It simply means to say, when I have two resistors in parallel whose one value is less and other resistance value is high, effective of that will be the resistance whose value is less. Effective if I take this. Okay. For an example, if you just take a resistor whose value is 1 ohm in parallel with 100 ohm, you identify what is its effective. You identify what is its effective. R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. You just do this. If you want to consider the R effective, R1 into R2, 1 into 100 divided by 1 plus 100. So this turns out as 100 divided by 101. What is its effective? What is its answer? 100 divided by 101. 0.99, which is approximately equal to 1. I hope you are able to understand it now. So what is this expression is saying now is, since R0, which was infinite in the previous case, and now taking some value between 10k to 1000k, and your RD value being lesser than that, it simply says that when I take these two resistors in parallel, no doubt my RD will not be equal to the same value. It may reduce, but not to a substantial value. Or in simple words, it will be almost equal to the value that it was having in the previous case. So it's the reason I said you that. So these two equations will not make much difference. But this is the expression that you people are going to use it for a small signal operation, because you have added some R0 resistance into your circuit. You have added some R0 resistance into your circuit. Okay? Is it clear to you? Is it clear to you? Okay. So now we'll go to this last concept for this module. That is nothing but how does this trans conductance is going to make some difference. Okay. In this case of the trans conductance, GM, okay, in this concept of trans conductance of GM, I know what is the equation for GM. So GM is being defined as Kn dash W by L into VGS minus VT. So this equation is not new to you. You people have solved several numericals on this equation. Okay. Now, what is that I need to understand from this equation is, I know that VGS minus VT is nothing but a over voltage, right? VGS minus VT, I can call this as VOV. Then it simply means to say now GM can be written as Kn dash into W by L. So this I can write this as VOV. This I can write this as VOV. Okay. Now, what does this equation wants to say you? This equation wants to say you that your GM, a trans conductance, this it is proportional to the process of trans conductance parameter Kn dash. It is also proportional. It is also proportional to the aspect ratio, the width by length ratio, the aspect ratio, and this is also directly proportional to the overdrive voltage. Is also proportional to the overdrive voltage VOV. Now it is possible to increase GM. If at all, if I want to increase this GM, it's possible to increase by biasing the device at a larger VGS. Nothing but what? By increasing the value of VGS. Because I know that this VOV is VGS minus VT. So VT is constant. So if I want to increase this GM, then I can just increase this VGS. So if I increase VGS, my trans conductance also increases. Okay. So now I'm going to substitute for the value of this VOV into this expression. I'll write the expression once again for you people. So I'll just write it over here. So I can write my GM as GM is equals to Kn dash W by L into VOV. Okay. So for this particular expression, I'm going to substitute for my VOV. Will you give me an expression wherein I can go for substitution in terms of drain current? When I can go in terms of drain current? Yes. Any suggestions from your side? So I hope you know the equation of a drain current, right? You know the equation for a drain current. You know that your drain current can be defined as ID is equals to 1 by 2 times that of Kn into VGS minus VT the whole square. Agreed? Yes or no? This is the expression for your ID. Then from this expression, if I substitute this VGS minus VT as VOV, I can write this as ID is equals to 1 by 2 times that of Kn into VOV whole square. Now if I want to write it for VOV, how do I write it? This implies, first I will write it for VOV square. So VOV square will be equal to 2 times, I'm taking this 2 from this denominator to my RHS to LHS. It becomes 2 times that of ID divided by Kn. Now I don't want VOV square. I wanted something for VOV. So how to write this? So VOV will be equal to square root of 2 times that of ID divided by Kn. So this is the expression. So this expression, I'm going to put it into my equation for Gm. So Gm will be equal to Kn dash, okay, W by L. So this VOV, I can just write it as square root of 2 times that of ID divided by Kn. 2 times that of ID divided by Kn. Further, this expression can be reduced, saying that Kn dash into W by L, the square root of 2 times that of ID. So what is this Kn? This Kn is nothing but, because you can see here the aspect ratio is not been defined. W by L is not been defined. So it simply means this Kn is nothing but Kn dash into W by L. So this is all under the root itself. Okay, Kn dash into W by L. So even over here I'm having this Kn dash into W by L. So what is that I can do? I know that from the fundamentals, 2 can be written as root 2 into root 2. So root 2 into root 2 is root 2 square. Square root get cancelled, giving out 2. So with this fundamental, so I can write this Kn dash into W by L as root of Kn dash, okay, into root of Kn dash, and this as root of W by L into root of W by L, okay, and this term as it is square root of 2 times that of ID divided by Kn dash into W by L. So what happens here? So one Kn dash get cancelled, one W by L, one root of W by L get cancels, giving out you the expression, square root of 2 times that of Kn dash. I've just taken this root 2 outside and merged it with this Kn dash. So 2 times that of Kn dash into root of W by L into the root of ID. So this is the expression for my Gm, the transconductance. Okay, this is the expression for my Gm. So what is this expression I would like to say you? This expression would like to say you that the transconductance is directly proportional to square root of DC bias current. It is directly proportional to square root of aspect ratio, and also it is directly proportional to this constant Kn. Wherein in contrast, I can say that the transconductance of this bipolar transistor, okay, If at all, if I just make a physical size and a geometry comparison of this device, then I can simply say that my GM would be root 2 times that of 2 times that of Kn dash. Understanding? Is it clear to you? So this is how you'll be getting expression for your transconductance for a small signal operation. For a small signal operation. Okay? Is it clear to you? So only you people should know this equation, and you should be able to know this fundamentals of mathematics just to derive an equation for a transconductance when you are operating your MOSFET for a small signal. Is it clear to you? Okay. Any doubts in this topic? Okay. Fine.